Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ITTF Seamaster 2018 World Tour Hong Kong Open, coming to you live from Hong Kong, China. We're getting into the men's singles final. That is Korea's Seungmin, 20 years old, and world rank number 54. And here, the man who stole the show last night with an amazing performance, Kazuhiro YOSHIMURA. He's 21 years old. He's world rank number 106, the 13th best player from Japan. And if you wonder why the shoes are untied, it's because he's wearing his warm-up shorts right now and is going to get changed into his competition shorts shortly, no pun intended. That is the younger brother of Maharu Yoshimura. And I think the coin toss, he might be quite excited to get into the final here. Almost forgot about determining who serves and where the players stand. Yoshimura chooses to receive as winning the coin toss. Seungmin chose the side of the table you saw him walking by. Here's their road to the final. Seungmin beating CHO, the last standing Chinese male player, 4-2. Very exciting match. Before that, he beat Maharu Yoshimura. A chance for Yoshimura revenge here. Yoshimura started off Kazuhiro, that is, beating Lee Song-soo 4-0. And after that, 4-3 over Lim Jong-hoon. The 4-0 match against Lee Song-soo was not only a huge shocker to the world, it was 2018 in the first game. Here's a look at the World Tour standings. Some big names on that list there, some Europeans, the top three Chinese players leading the pack, followed by Ugo Calderano. Timo Boll in the number 10 spot. Christian Carlsen, Jonathan Groth on that list as well, and Simon Gauzy as well, who we've seen battling injury a little bit. Hope to see him in top form soon enough. Again, one of the few young players outside of China to be considered a potential threat. We'll see, making it into the top 10, of course, not easy to do. A lot of conversation about serve here. Coach Lee Chul-sung, Coach Shin Tong-tong for Kazuhiro Yoshimura. So Kazuhiro Yoshimura, his backhand has been just incredible. Really so versatile from over the table. He looks so relaxed when he plays the opening spin shot. He keeps his balance, not afraid to get aggressive. Seungmin. Well, actually, let's talk more about Kazuhiro Yoshimura. His variety of serves, his shovel serves, very interesting. His pendulum serves, heavy underspin. Seen a lot of points gained that way. Good variety in his service game. His pace of play, he's comfortable to counter from off the table. Now, Seungmin, to me, just has a very smooth game. He's taller and more powerful than he was a few years ago when I really saw him break into the scene. Very physically fit. It's just quite a different style. I feel like he's smooth, but his stroke just seems more textbook in many ways. You can see some of his results here. Didn't make it out of the qualification stages since the Australia Open 2017. Actually, I'm guessing that's Austria Open. Maybe AUS would be Australia, so sorry if I got that wrong. And a quick correction, I think yesterday I said 5'2" for Mima Ito. Closer to 5 feet, 152 centimeters tall. But on the other side, Kazuhiro Yoshimura, 21 years old, world rank number 106. Group stages only, qualification stages. I saw him play Fangbo, losing high deuce in game number 7, checking the racket here to make sure that everything is intact. If there's any question about how central the net was, that was a perfect look at it. Ing Tzu-kin from Hong Kong, our umpire. And again, these players, I mean, number 54 in the world. I mean, 2 players playing the final who are outside of the top 50 with 16 seeded players here is really just a breakout performance. No matter who wins this, it's going to be huge news. It's a good sign for you at home. They've never played before head-to-head, so everything is new here. It's interesting, again, every once in a while you see someone who comes in runner-up in a major event really break out later. This has happened in show business, it's happened in sports, but the winner will steal the spotlight today, and a whole lot of world ranking points to boot. Seungmin with the serve. Oh, excuse me, Seungmin with the serve. Nice tight serve, traditional pendulum serve from Cho. As high toss as we've seen in some time in the men's game, and the serve goes just long. Trying to play that risky serve. I think early in the match, probably a better time than later. There's that backhand, really fluid, really wristy. From the position he comes in with the racket head down, it's so tough to tell where he's going to go. And he is very versatile in that game. Over the table, even behind, the backhand's unpredictable. This is the power of CHO Seungmin. Again, we saw against Lim Jong-hoon, a lot of power on that forehand. Two young left-handed powerful players from Korea. But Kazuhiro YOSHIMURA was able to hang in there, counter back. Backhand once again, parallel, surprise placement. The obvious place to go would have been cross court. This is such an important thing to know. All the players know it at this level, but having the confidence to change up that placement, to go the road less traveled, to take it the other way, to surprise the opponent, especially at that speed, not even touchable. Rarely do we see CHO Seungmin forced into submission, hesitation from back there. Yesterday on a few occasions we saw it, but still he was able to succeed. Came through when it really mattered. Good length on the serve. Looks like it drifts a little bit long, but close enough to the back edge that it's trouble for CHO Seungmin to loop. Now that high toss serve, this time it's controlled. Tight into the table, tough to read. If you can make subtle contact on that, the ball's moving faster on the high toss serve. Nice change of placement, the parallel forehand, and YOSHIMURA extends his lead back to 2 points. Oh, the ripped forehand. This one comes up just a little bit. CHO Seungmin realizes he has clearance and commits to the shot. Side angle view, yeah, you can see the height on this ball. This is pretty bold. The serve long into the body on the backhand side. He says, sure, I'll let you take the first swing, but you're going to have to take it after turning a step behind the table. I'm prepared to counter your opening shot if this is the positioning. Oh, back edge of the table. These high toss serves have been fairly effective. I mean, outside of the first service error, but here a break. CHO Seungmin's disguise, his deception on these serves, quite effective. They have been throughout the tournament anyway. YOSHIMURA's receive has been very strong. I think that's part of the reason, one, he's here in the final, and two, he's up 9-5 right now. Quick point here for Yoshimura in the first game, has 5 game points. Second serve ahead. Two service points in a row. Yoshimura takes the first game with authority. We'll see what happens. Game number 2 in the best of 7 coming up right after this. Back for game number 2, Yoshimura in the lead with the serve to start the game. A better look at his serve from here. Lefty-righty combination here. He's on the close side of the screen, Yoshimura. That backhand, though, side topspin, the Chiquita from over the table, deep to the backhand corner. Oh, around the net. Beautiful shot. Don't tempt Cho Seungmin. At this level, you give him that glance to go around the net. Watch how low this shot is. This is not half wide. This is full wide. Oh, beautiful shot. Just ski balls up the edge of the table. It shows incredible confidence to, 1, go for that shot. 2, I think the effect that it has on the opponent just reminds them that you're dangerous, that you have the control, and that you're a bit fearless. Any player who tries to play that one over the top of the net is going to be in trouble for the next ball. I know Maharu Yoshimura is a big fan of around the net shots. Wouldn't be surprised if Kazuhiro would pull him out as well. The opportunity should arise. Cho Seungmin off to a good start so far. Lost last game with less than half the points of his opponent at only 5. Clever idea, Yoshimura just a little bit too wide here. Again, the versatility on that backhand makes Yoshimura quite dangerous. So you think you got touch? The challenge has begun. From down low under the table, Yoshimura with the tomahawk chop block. Floated back up by Cho Seungmin. And one of the best things about table tennis for me is the spin. There's more spin factor than any sport I can think of. Cracking backhand. I was going to say, though, that when the spin starts getting really funky and unconventional, the creativity factor is high, and it's always interesting to see who will come back in to play the first big attack. The touch is good. It's not easy. Not easy to convert that side spin ball into an attack. Oh, cracking backhand. Again, these short strokes, the amount of power that I've seen from Yoshimura. Here's the family that came from India to watch, from Bangalore. Quite a ways to be here. Very exciting to see the world tour in person. Thought he had him fooled. The long serve. Cho Seungmin was coming in for the over-the-table receive and still backpedaled a little bit, was able to make a quality opening shot. Well placed right onto the body. Cho Seungmin keeping the pressure on. Tactically speaking, I feel like the backhand was trouble. Normally for a left-handed player, playing the backhand of a right-handed player is effective because their forehand is so much stronger. But here Yoshimura's been solid early in the point. Oh my goodness, the feeling there. This ball was so close to the table, you have to worry about not just breaking your racket on the table. Watch one more time. Just spins it up, leaves it short on the table. Bit of role reversal here in terms of scoreboard. And right back the other way, Cho Seungmin thought he had him handcuffed. Yoshimura showing the confidence, guiding it back to the open short side of the table. Makes it look so easy. Looks up for a little eye contact, checks in with the opponent. Reverse pendulum serve, gets the opportunity for a big forehand from the middle. Nod of approval from Coach Tong. Again, a Chinese coach working with the Japanese player. Tough to take that ball when it's on its way down. So much spin from Cho Seungmin. Cho Seungmin cutting off the comeback run here from Yoshimura, extending his lead back to 4 points. We've seen this so many times throughout the tournament. Cho Seungmin setting up that third ball. It is clean, it is powerful, and it is difficult to get in the points if you can't be a bit more surprising on your receive. Oh, tricks galore. Little snake action. A ball comes down a sky lob, but the next ball looked like he was trying for a shoe sheen. Doesn't quite contact it. Game number 2 to Cho Seungmin. It is an even battle here, 1 game apiece. We'll see who takes the lead. Game number 3. Right. Back for game number 3, 11-5 and 11-5 the other way. Each player has scored 16 points so far, as even as can be at 1 game apiece. Parallel backhand here again, the pressure from Yoshimura. It's always interesting to see such a dominant performance in game 1 and then the exact opposite the other way. Ooh, shovel serve surprise, a bit of underspin on it, very subtle contact. Oh, service error. They've both had their service error now. We will see what happens. Again, the most service errors I think I've seen in any one match. Xu Xin with 6 in the same match. That being said, we've seen service errors, of course, under pressure from the greatest players to have ever played the game. I think Waldner up 10-5 versus Ma Lin, losing 7 points in a row. Maybe 2 service errors. At least one. Either way, first towel break, tied up at 3 points apiece. Cho Seungmin's going to go for the towel. Yoshimura staying at the table, focused. Again, the towel break is simply an optional break. It's an opportunity to make sure that people aren't using the towel too often. Nice soft touch. Again, cradling the ball, taking a bit of side spin on it, coming in from the side angle. Frank G of Seamaster and Steve Dainton of ITTF, the CEO, watching from close on the side. With the VIPs who you've seen presenting. There's the Korean camp watching. Had a chance to see them last night after Lim Jong-hoon lost a very difficult match. Again, came back from down 3-8, wins 7 points in a row to have 2 match points. Good pressure in near the table. Yoshimura taking advantage of the opportunity, now goes up 6-4 with the serves on his side. Interesting changes of pace here. 2 slightly softer shots from the backhand. Omar Sar in the crowd watching closely, hat on. He's had quite a few good tournaments as well, but I was going to say the backhand of Yoshimura was a little bit more hesitant in the start of the rally, and even that finishing shot was like an 80% for him. Good use of the opponent's spin and speed. Blocks it back into the backhand side. Little bits of side spin added here and there in the blocking game of Yoshimura. Off the net and just out. It all started with Cho Seungmin, the risky serve into the body. Again, for a left-handed player versus a right-handed player, or the other way around. That's a serve that I love, the bottle challenge serve. You get into the counter loop exchange. Not too many are going to win with the forehand of Cho Seungmin, but Yoshimura pulls it out here. Beautiful backhand right off the bounce, down the line. Again, just so unpredictable and so fluid with that backhand. Curious if we were going to see Yoshimura go for the around the net shot. Not wide enough for such a clear shot. Could he have done it? Yes. Was it likely? Well, not as safe as the shot he took, but you saw what happened. Pressure, heavy underspin on the serve, short to the forehand side. 4 game points for Kazuhiro Yoshimura. This one sits a little bit too long. Clear opening forehand attack for Cho Seungmin. Not by a lot. You see how he has to come in for that? Again, talked about moving on the plane. not just side to side. And it's not the first time we've seen those hip flexors stretched out here from Yoshimura. And again, plays it over the net. Tries to play it a little bit softer, more shallow on the table, so this won't happen. But Cho Seungmin, very focused, takes it right near the back edge of the table, bending inside out. Third towel break of the game. 2 game points saved, 2 to go for Yoshimura. And the deep push does it. Not the most glamorous shot in the game, but when used with surprise and timing, fast and placed well, it can be effective as demonstrated. So the game and the lead goes back to Yoshimura. 2-1, we'll be back for game number 4 right after this. Back for game number 4, Yoshimura leading 2-1 with the serve on his side on the near side of the table. 2 up-and-comers, one from Japan serving, one from Korea receiving. Cho Seungmin on the receive. Look at the angle here. He's gone both ways with that backhand. Really unpredictable. Now Kazuhiro Yoshimura, I told you, beat Lee Song-soo 4-0. Before that, beat Ruin Filus 4-1. And before that, beat Yuya Oshima from Japan, his teammate. I'm very curious with the new world ranking system after this tournament, where players will be Cho Seungmin and Kazuhiro Yoshimura. Expect more movement from Yoshimura. But again, the winner of this match will walk away with a lot more points. Oh, the rip. Confidence on that forehand. Again, if he can predict the placement, that's a big part of getting set up. He's used to dealing with heavy topspin coming in. But not quite as threatening there that time, Yoshimura with his backhand. Long push once again, right at the baseline, as deep as can be, and he takes it off the bounce to do it, which is also quite surprising. I think that's part of the way he disguises it. If you're playing it short, you take it right off the bounce to keep it near the net, so it looks the same in the delivery. That's a beautiful backhand. Touch shot didn't look bad from Yoshimura, right near the back of the table. Cho Seungmin comes in to take this. Watch one more time. Touch shot sits up just a little bit before it even hit its peak. Cho Seungmin was ripping for the winner. A little bit more pressure here this time, deep into the backhand corner. And again, when you have a player stepping around, if you're not going the other way to the short side of the table, needs to be fast and deep into the backhand corner to take away that full stroke. Good rotation here, a lot of kick on the ball, jumps up into the edge of the racket. Yoshimura extends his lead back to 2. Ooh, fast long into the body. This is what we see from the left-handed players more. But again, it's the same. You're facing a mirror, so the right-handed player has the same opportunity on the serve as the lefty. Solid flick. The forehand. Again, one of the most difficult shots in table tennis, that forehand flick. Right down the line, surprise. Cho Seungmin set up for the cross-court shot. Yoshimura is so decisive, and he's so aware of what the opponent is expecting. Wow. Cho Seungmin starting to turn. Just not enough room. Yoshimura finding these really sharp, wide angles. I mean, the scoreboard isn't lying right now. 9-3 for Yoshimura. He's very much in control this game. Although he had 8-3 yesterday and found himself down 2 match points. This one gets away. Cho Seungmin has some time. Yoshimura behind the table. Not even a ton of pressure there, just sort of puts it back up with some topspin. Father-son team clap there in the crowd, one of each hand. Oh, ripping backhand, 11-3, the power of Yoshimura. The world will be studying this man. It is a 3-1 lead. Game number 5 could be the last. Stay right here. It's coming up right after this. Back for game number 5. It's a 3-1 lead for Yoshimura. The doubles champions are in the crowd right near the commentary booth. Fans all staring back at Wang Chunting and Ho Kwon Kit, rushing for their autographs and their pictures. So Cho Seungmin with an uphill battle here, down to 1-3. This is an awkward ball. You can see the frustration there. It was a good serve, well executed. Yoshimura a bit defensive there, just puts the ball back awkwardly, deep to the corner though. We will see. This could be a long way from over. Could also end this game. Look at the bend on these balls. Yoshimura hooks 2 into the body and then plays one with straight topspin out wide to the forehand. Cho Seungmin having a difficult time figuring out how far he's going to have to move in the counter loop rally. Oh, the touch. Sounded like he clipped the racket on the table for a minute. Saw him quickly go to press the rubber back down. Not sure if he slipped, maybe he lost his footing for a moment. Either way, an impressive touch shot from Cho Seungmin. That's how a long push is done. deep to the backhand corner, gets a predictable loop and counters it back to the short side. Really moving in combinations here. The power. It's a set play. You know that one shot will lead to the other most likely. So more service errors on the side of Cho Seungmin than the other way around, 2-1 if I recall correctly. But really thinking in combinations, making a shot knowing what it will set up, being ready to play the next ball quickly to a difficult place for the opponent. There's so many different patterns these players are used to and just sort of quickly fall into. That surprise backhand. I mean, absolutely clueless. Cho Seungmin has had the tournament of his life. And it's several times now that we've seen the ball hit him in the bare shirt. I think this is a good time for a timeout. Lee Chul-sung. It's a 3-point differential. It could be the last game of the match. If not now, then when? We've seen timeouts a little bit later within the Korean program. Again, 3 men making it to the final 8. So Korea's had a very strong tournament, and Cho Seungmin the strongest. It's quite impressive considering that Lee Sang-soo is here, Jung Young-shik is here, Jung Sang-un came to this tournament, Jang Woo-jin is here. With the 2 players to go the deepest in the tournament, Lim Jong-hoon and Cho Seungmin. Just goes to show you how deep the roster runs, the lineup for the men of Korea. On the women's side, the same though. A lot of women coming up in the world rankings. Lee Eun-hae doing very well here today. Or not today, but this tournament anyway, this week. So tactically, Cho Seungmin, you know, he's had these high toss serves. He's had some variation on spin. In the receive game right now, if he can play wide out to the forehand aggressively, if he can get his backhand flick in, could be effective. Might have to invest in a touch shot first before making the attack. Let's see. There was the touch shot, but YOSHIMURA just keeping the ball in play under pressure, a little bit more shallow on the table, breaks the timing, breaks the rhythm for Cho Seungmin. You saw how he was left with the ball way out in front. Now that's something I was thinking about, the heavy underspin pendulum serve. Cho Seungmin has won a good share of points, surprising the opponent with the amount of underspin he gets on that serve. Oh, short side. Predicts well. Not a bad receive. But if it's predictable, that's trouble. Cho Seungmin already moving within 2 points now. Big serves here to hang on to the lead, to extend the lead. Serious power from Cho Seungmin on this last ball, just a little bit inside the table. The crowd loving this point. For me, when YOSHIMURA puts the heavy side spin on his forehand loops, it seemed to cause some trouble the other way. Good fishing game here. Last one just has to reach. Tough ball to keep in play, even with all the space behind the table. Well now, Cho Seungmin with 4 points in a row. Jeez, Maharu YOSHIMURA in the front there. Need to take a look at that squad again. The blue jackets and just a quick glance looking away. So the Korean team in similar blue jackets. This is a big point here. YOSHIMURA did not have a lot of room, not a lot of margin for error. Roman Klecker talking in the audience. It's always good if you ever want to know something about the rules. Talking to the umpires on the World Tour. They're a wealth of knowledge. Really learn a lot about the game. Some fun facts, too, that you might not have known. Oh, another service error. He's played a lot of high-risk serves. And he's played them effectively throughout this tournament, but this is how effective the receive has been of YOSHIMURA. It just adds even more pressure for Cho Seungmin to make it that special. 3 service errors. And all that power coming in. Yoshimura keeps the racket head up, brings it back out to the forehand. He's 2 points away from going undefeated in the men's singles event, despite a strong list of opponents. Challengers from some of the strongest nations in the world. Perfect placement on an awkward serve earns 4 championship points for Kazuhiro Yoshimura, the 21-year-old. One of 2 Yoshimuras to be a star in Japan, especially after this tournament. Ooh, the bending backhand does not come down. Cho Seungmin fighting to stay alive. Saw Cho Seungmin come back from down 5-10 against Jang Woo-jin. Very respectable opponent. 1 championship point saved. And there it is, the attack. Kazuhiro Yoshimura on his knees has delivered and brought home the title. Revenge for his brother. This is like a movie. The Yoshimura who takes it in the end and serves the family and the country well. Japan's young player, the number 13 player by world ranking in Japan. World rank number 106. Way outside the seedings, makes it all the way from the qualification rounds through some very, very strong opponents, and takes down the one player that nobody else could, Cho Seungmin of Korea. 4 games to 1, and quite convincing. Look at the scoreboard here. Kazuhiro Yoshimura will be studied by the Chinese national team, and we will see how he continues on the world tour. Stick around, we'll have the awards ceremony coming up in just a bit with Cho Seungmin and Kazuhiro Yoshimura.
Winning the men's singles. The award ceremony for the men's singles will be coming up shortly. Gracing award ceremony for the men's singles. Let's put our hands for Mr. Ji Wenyuan, Chairman of Shanghai Sea Mastership Broking Corporation Limited.
歡迎今日嘅主禮嘉賓，上海精英航運經紀有限公司主席桂文元先生。
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the awarding ceremony for men's singles. That is Frank G, the CEO of Seamaster, the most charitable man in table tennis, the sponsor for the World Tour, for TTX, for T2, the founder. He loves table tennis, a pen holder himself. There's a video on ITTF's YouTube channel about what his place is like in China. Mr. Ji Wenyuan is his Chinese name. And Mr. Tony Yue, you saw before. Mr. Tony Yu, I guess is how he's called here in Hong Kong. The runner-up for men's singles, Cho Seungmin, who for table tennis hardcore fans was already known, but now I think is officially on the map around the world. People will pay attention to this young 20-year-old player, world rank number 54. Again, I expect to see his world rank climb. His world ranking should over the next several months if he's on the world tour, especially after this tournament. $8,800 US plus the trophy to take with him, not to mention the satisfaction of beating a ton of strong players, including the strongest performing Chinese male here, Zhou Qihao. He was the one who put an end to the Chinese run.
홍콩에서 시합하는 것은 처음이세요? Is this your first time in playing in Hong Kong? Translator.
홍콩에서 시합하는 것이 처음이세요?
홍콩에서 시합. 제가 오늘 생일인데 홍콩으로 처음 와서 시합을 하는데 생일날 우승하고 좀 기분 좋게 가려고 했는데 아쉽게 준우승을 해서 좀 잊지 못할 생일이 아닌가.
今日佢生日，跟住本身諗住攞第一係一個禮物嚟嘅，但係可惜係第二名，但係都係一個好難忘嘅生日。
From Korean to Cantonese to English. Are we going to get to hear the English?
Okay, so today is my birthday. I wish to get the winner, but it's a pity I get second place. But never mind. Thank you.
Well, two birthday players here today got second place in the singles events. Happy birthday to Cho Seungmin and Chun Xingtong. Wow. Had I known. Wow. I'll have to check. Maybe he's turning 21 or he's turned 21 today.
YOSHIMURA Kazuhiro from Japan.
And the star, it is Kazuhiro YOSHIMURA of Japan, younger brother of Maharu Yoshimura, who steals the spotlight. Just incredible play in this tournament. Again, there were many aspects to his game that were quite surprising and difficult to deal with. That backhand receive into the backhand side of Cho Seungmin, just all over the place, was so loose and flexible. $17,700 US dollars there for Mr. Frank G and Tony Yu. Quite an honor to be performing this way here. And again, with people like this watching you, a lot of opportunities, a lot of doors opening for the career of the young player, the 21-year-old Kazuhiro YOSHIMURA. So with the birthday boy and runner-up, the two best players in this tournament, shoes untied. Might have been midway to getting the warm-up pants back on.
And thank you, and I wish to ask a few questions to our winner.
I want to see a smile.
Again, I would like to know, compared to other places, is this your first time playing in Hong Kong?
香港で初めて試合したんです。
はい、今回初めてやりました。
Oh, yes, this is my first time to play in Hong Kong.
How do you feel in playing Hong Kong?
香港で試合したのは、どう思ったんです。
非常に体育館が広くて、すごいやりやすい会場でした。はい。
This is a very nice place for me and very lucky place for me.
Thank you, and good luck in the coming matches. Thank you.
Well, good luck to him on the World Tour indeed. A very strong performance here after coming so close to beating Fang Bo in Japan last year. Today, he didn't come close. He did it. He accomplished everything he could in the men's singles event. Didn't lose a single match, went undefeated, and is the champion. Again, even though this isn't a platinum event, we still saw a lot of strong players here. Zhang Jiko was here, Ma To was here, Wang Chun-ting was here, Patrick Franziska, Jonathan Groth, Liam Pitchford, all sorts of players. But in the main draw, there was a long list that Kazuhiro beat, including Ruin Filus, the top chopper by world ranking in the world. And all the way through the qualification round to be on top of the metaphorical podium, the champion, the title holder of men's singles at the 2018 Hong Kong Open. And the smile starts to come out. Can he hold it all? He's got to find the light writing, make it a perfect. There it is, the flattering shot he wants. It'll be on ITTF's social media, at ITTF World, on Instagram, on Twitter. You can find it on Weibo in China, or anywhere around the world for that matter. You can find it on Facebook, International Table Tennis Federation. Don't forget tv.ittf.com to catch all the matches you missed. Some outstanding matches throughout this week. What a tournament it was. From around the net shots and spectacles of all sorts, edge recoveries. I'm Adam Bobrow, your commentator. Don't forget, drive safely, pong responsibly, and we'll see you next week in Shenzhen for the China Open. Until then, take care.